And joining me now to discuss this is a medical doctor, Bola Adediran. Good to have you join us, Bola Adediran. Let's get your thoughts on the reason that Italy is giving for holding back these vaccines which were going to be shipped to Australia. Italy says that it does not consider Australia to be a vulnerable nation. What do you make of that? All right, we cannot hear you, Dr. Bola Adediran. We hope that you fix the audio over there and that we can have this conversation. All right, I think we have, so he's an international affairs analyst. We have Bola Adediran live with us now. I don't know if you got my first question. You can answer if you got it.
Yes, I did, and I'm hoping that you can hear me correctly now. Can you?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. Yes, I was saying that I agree with that statement that Australia is not a vulnerable nation, and the facts bear that. Italy, for example, has had more than 3 million cases and almost 100,000 deaths. Australia, by comparison, has only had less than 30,000 COVID cases and less than 1,000 deaths. So in terms of the impact of COVID on both countries, I think that the comparison is very clear that Italy has been reeling from the effects of COVID, and Australia has been relatively immune from the worst of the crisis. So in that sense, it makes a lot of it makes a lot of logistical and strategic sense for Italy to kind of recoil at the idea that 300,000 vaccines will be shipped all to Australia, whereas Oxford AstraZeneca has been unable to meet demands within the European Union. Oxford AstraZeneca has had more than 60% shortfall in its supply to the European Union so far. So that's been a concern for member states of the European Union.
There is this export vetting now in place in the EU, where EU member states, can vet planned exports of authorized COVID-19 out of its bloc. But the World Health Organization has spoken against that, saying that it does infringe on the rights of other countries. What do you make of that? And should we then be prioritizing, or should these vaccine companies should be prioritizing countries that have more cases than others?
I think that one of the clear concerns that a lot of people had at the beginning of the pandemic was that we were going to see something similar to what we're beginning to see now, which is what you rightly called vaccine nationalism in your news report. And clearly we've seen that really play out itself with the EU in recent months. In fact, a couple of months ago, we also had something similar with the European Union against the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom was accused of ordering vaccines, given the fact that it has managed to secure over 500,000, more than 500 million doses of COVID vaccines, when its European neighbors are finding it difficult to secure vaccines. So it's inevitable that we will continue to have these discussions about whether access should be given to the most vulnerable. How should we define the most vulnerable across societies and across continents? But I think that what is very imperative and what is very clear that we need to emphasize is that vaccines must be provided across cultures, across countries, and people should have equal access to the vaccine. It's been a global effort to defeat COVID-19, and access to COVID-19 must reflect that kind of global solidarity.
All right. Issues of vaccine equity is a huge challenge in these times. International Affairs Analyst Bola Adediran, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.